Monday morning. Parking lot, 7:42 a.m. He drives a 12-year-old Mazda with a cracked dashboard. She takes the bus, he packs lunch every single day. He has $900,000. You've been doing everything right. The latte, the budget app, the financial TikToks at midnight. So why does the boring thing keep winning? Because at every level of wealth, the habit looks different. The result doesn't. This is what the boring habit actually looks like. Level 1, net worth $0 to negative. Salary $28,000 to $38,000. You don't replace the car. The Mazda is 11 years old, 134,000 miles. The driver's seat has a tear running diagonal, covered with electrical tape 2 winters ago, still holding. The AC works on settings 3 and 4. You keep it on 3 because 4 sounds like something's loose. You don't want to know what. Your coworker pulls in next to you. Brand new Hyundai Tucson, 42 months into a 60-month lease. She doesn't mention the payment. You don't ask. $400, maybe $450 with insurance on top. You grab your bag and walk in together. She asks when you're getting something newer. You say the Mazda runs fine. Both of you know that's not the whole answer. Nobody tells you the boring habit at this level isn't a philosophy, it's math. Cold, uncomfortable math. $412 a month doesn't exist in your budget. So you keep the car, not because you're disciplined, because you're out of options. But here's the thing about constraints. Sometimes a constraint and the right answer look exactly the same from the outside. The person who keeps the old car because they can't afford the new one, and the person who keeps it because they understand depreciation. Same vehicle, same gap between themselves and the payment. One knows why. The other figures it out later. You're figuring it out now. A new car payment at this salary averages around $400 a month. Insurance on a newer model adds another $160. That's $560 every month. Gone before you buy groceries. Over 4 years, $26,880. Not in equity, in something that lost 23% of its value the moment it left the lot. The Mazda costs you insurance, $210 a month, registration once a year, and an occasional repair that makes your stomach drop when the mechanic calls. Last March, it was the alternator, $840. You put it on a card, paid it off in 2 months. It hurt. You did it anyway. And then you kept driving. There's a moment that happens at this level, nobody prepares you for. Red light, a Tuesday. A newer car pulls up next to you. That specific shine that only exists in the first 18 months. The driver looks straight ahead. You look at the cracked dashboard. Something moves through you that isn't quite jealousy, closer to a question. Is this just what my life looks like now? The light turns green, you drive. That question will come back, a lot. But what you don't know yet, sitting in an 11-year-old car at 26. Is that the question itself is useful? It means you're paying attention. And paying attention is the beginning of everything. The car is never the point. The point is the $560 that didn't leave your account this month and the month before and the month before that. Most of it went to rent and groceries and the alternator in March, but some stayed. Enough to make next month slightly less tight than this one. That's the compounding nobody charts, not returns, the breathing room. The fact that one bad week doesn't automatically become a bad month. The boring habit right now isn't building wealth, just margin. Just enough space to not be completely wrecked by whatever happens next Thursday. Margin is the foundation, everything else gets built on top. The Mazda starts every morning, not gracefully, takes a second. There's a sound it makes in cold weather that you've named, but won't describe to a mechanic because you're afraid of what it costs. But it starts and you drive to work and 560 stays in your account instead of someone else's. Nobody sees that, nobody claps. Your coworker doesn't know, the algorithm doesn't care, but the math does. The math always does. Level 2, salary $45,000 to $58,000. You automate the transfer before you see the paycheck. The notification comes in at 9:03 a.m. Direct deposit, $3,180. You see it for about 4 seconds before the next notification arrives. $175 transferred automatically. To the high-yield savings account you set up 7 months ago on a Sunday night when you couldn't sleep. You didn't decide this morning. You decided 7 months ago and then you forgot about it. That's the whole system. Here's how it actually started. Not with a plan, not with a spreadsheet with a number that annoyed you. You were looking at last month's bank statement. Not because you wanted to, because something felt off. And there it was, 173 in takeout over 30 days. DoorDash mostly. One Postmates order at 11:15 p.m. on a Wednesday that you have no memory of making. 173 on food you ate alone. In front of a screen and remembered nothing about by the following week. You didn't cancel the takeout. You just looked at that number. And thought, if that money can disappear without me noticing, so can 175 going the other direction. So you set up the transfer. 175 the day after payday, automatic, before you could spend it on something you'd forget by next Wednesday. That was 7 months ago. The balance now is $8,400. You check it sometimes, not from anxiety, just to confirm it's real. It's real. Let's be honest about what $8,400 is and isn't. It's not life-changing. It won't survive a major medical bill or a job loss. Longer than maybe 4 months. It is not the number you dreamed about when you thought about being financially stable. But here's what $8,400 actually is. It's the first time in your adult life that something bad could happen on a Tuesday. And you wouldn't have to put it on a card. That's it. Not returns, not compound interest, just the absence of panic. The quiet knowledge that the car repair, the ER visit, the security deposit if things go sideways, those things have an answer now. A real one, not a prayer and a credit card. That feeling has no line item in any financial plan, but anyone who's ever lived without it knows exactly what it's worth. You thought you'd feel the loss of 175 every month, that there'd be a moment every 30 days where you'd be short, where you'd move the money back. That moment never came. Not because you're unusually disciplined, because 175 was never load-bearing in your budget. It was just available. And available money finds somewhere to go. Before it went to a Wednesday night Postmates order you don't remember, now it goes to a savings account. Compounding at 4.5% annually. Same amount, different destination, completely different outcome. The transfer didn't require sacrifice, it required automation. Sacrifice means choosing pain. Automation means removing the choice entirely. No choice, no willpower required. The money moves before your brain can negotiate with itself. That's the whole system. Remove the decision, the behavior follows. Something else happens at this level that nobody talks about. The bank notices, not with a phone call. Algorithmically, your account patterns shifted from irregular and low to consistent and moderate, and the system responded. The credit card offers changed. Not the secured card, the one where you hand over your own money as collateral. Actual cards, real limits, $2,000, $3,500. The same institution that had nothing for you 8 months ago is now sending envelopes with your name on them. You didn't change, the number changed. And the number is all the system sees. You are not building a relationship with the bank, you are building a profile. And profiles open doors that people don't. 7 months ago you set up a 175 transfer on a Sunday night because a DoorDash statement annoyed you. That's the origin story. Not inspiring, not cinematic, just a number on a screen that bothered you enough to do one small thing about it. Now there's $8,400 sitting in an account. Earning 4.5%. Next month, $8,575 before interest. The month after, a little more. The machine is small right now, almost invisible. But it's running, and running is the only thing that matters at level 2. Not the amount, not the return, just that the transfer happened again this month. And will happen next month without you making a single decision. You already made the decision 7 months ago on a Sunday night when you couldn't sleep. Level 3, net worth $40,000 to $80,000. Salary $60,000 to $80,000. You don't upgrade the apartment when the raise arrives. The raise is $7,000 a year. After taxes, that's $438 a month. You stare at that number for a while. $438 more than your grocery bill. More than your car insurance twice over. For about 3 days you think about the apartment, the 1-2 neighborhoods over, newer building. In-unit washer and dryer, a kitchen with actual counter space, $1,420 a month. Your current rent is $980. The gap is $440. Almost exactly what the raise is worth after taxes. You close the tab. $438 a month into a brokerage account, total market index fund. Expense ratio 0.04%. Automatic, day after payday, same system as the 175, just bigger now, aimed at something longer. End of year 1, $5,256 in the market. The market added a little, account sits at $5,610. Not dramatic, but it's the first investment account you've ever had. That feels like it has direction. Not savings sitting still, money actually going somewhere. Now here's the part nobody warns you about. The social pressure at this level is quieter than a bill, but more expensive if you let it win. You make $72,000, you live like someone making $55,000. And the people around you, friends, coworkers, family, nobody says anything directly. It's subtler than that. It's the pause when you describe your apartment. The part where someone says, "Oh, that neighborhood," and their voice does something small. It's the group chat about the Memorial Day beach house. $400 per person, and everyone assuming you're in before you said a word. It's your cousin at Thanksgiving asking if you're still in that same place. Not mean, just asking, but still lands like a small judgment. You feel it. Some months you sit with the discomfort longer than you'd like. Lifestyle inflation isn't about weakness, it's about visibility. The new apartment is visible, friends come over and see it. Family hears about it and understands it. It communicates something that you're doing well, that the raise meant something. The brokerage account is invisible. Nobody sees it at dinner, nobody asks about it at Thanksgiving. It doesn't photograph well. So the pressure to upgrade isn't really about the apartment. It's about the need to show progress in a language other people can read. And that need is deeply human. Nothing wrong with feeling it. But here's what you learn at level 3, slowly over several months, sitting in the same apartment with the same view of the same parking lot. Visible progress and real progress are not always the same thing. The $438 a month you chose not to spend on something people could see. That gap is where the actual building happens. One Saturday in October, you buy a rug, $55 from HomeGoods, dark green rectangle. Fits under the coffee table with about 6 inches to spare. You put it down, step back, look at the room. Something shifts, not dramatically. The room just feels more like a place someone chose to live in and less like a place someone ended up. You sit on the couch for a while and look at it. And you realize you didn't need a new apartment, you needed to feel like you'd done something intentional with the one you have. The rug cost $55. The feeling it gave you is the same feeling you were chasing with the $1,400 apartment 2 neighborhoods over. Most upgrades are not about the thing. They're about the feeling the thing is supposed to deliver. Once you can separate the feeling from the object, you stop being so easy to sell to. The system depends on you not knowing that. The boring habit at level 3 is the hardest one so far, not because it requires the most discipline. Because it requires you to be comfortable being misread, to let people draw the wrong conclusions, to sit at Thanksgiving and say yes, still in the same place. And not feel the need to explain the brokerage account sitting behind that answer. That silence is where the money lives. And every month the $438 goes in and the apartment stays the same. You're not just building a number, you're building the ability to let the boring thing win. Even when the exciting thing is right there, visible, available, socially approved. That ability compounds too. Level 4, net worth $100,000 to $200,000. Salary $85,000 to $120,000. You don't check the portfolio every day. The account crossed $100,000 on a Thursday. You know this because you checked on Sunday like you always do, and the number was $97,420. The following Sunday it was $102,080. You don't know exactly which day it crossed, you weren't watching. That's the point. Your coworker Jerome checks Robinhood 10 times a day. He sends screenshots to the group chat, a position up 18%, a tech stock that doubled in 6 weeks. Green numbers on a white background. You look at the screenshots, you don't feel much, not because you don't care about money, because you've learned something Jerome hasn't yet. Screenshots are a highlight reel. Nobody sends the screenshot when they're down 22% on a Tuesday afternoon. The 10 times a day Jerome checks. 9 of those times the number does nothing useful for him, just creates an opportunity to react. And reacting is expensive. The market drops 8% over 11 days in March. Your portfolio loses $9,300 on paper. You know this because you checked on Sunday. The number was there, clear, uncomfortable. You close the app. Monday, you go to work, you eat the lunch you packed, you drive home in the Mazda. You sleep. Tuesday is the same, Wednesday is the same. You don't sell, not because you're fearless, because you know one thing clearly. The investors who sold in March of 2020 locked in their losses. The investors who did nothing watched the market recover to new highs within 12 months. Doing nothing felt like losing, doing nothing was winning. Not checking daily isn't about confidence, it's about architecture. You built the system so it doesn't require your attention to function. Contributions automatic, allocation set, rebalancing once a quarter. One Sunday afternoon, 40 minutes, a calculator. Everything else is time doing its work. When you remove daily attention, you also remove the daily opportunity to interfere. And interference, well-intentioned, emotionally reasonable interference, is what quietly destroys most retail investors over a decade. You didn't rely on willpower, you made willpower unnecessary. Jerome sends another screenshot on Friday afternoon, position up 31%, 3 weeks in. 2 fire emojis. You like the message, you mean it. What you don't say, your index fund returned 11.2% last year without a single decision after January. Without one screenshot. 11.2% of $102,000 is $11,424 earned while you were sleeping. Jerome's 31% might be more exciting. Your 11.2 is probably more money. You don't send a screenshot, there's nothing to take a picture of. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. Level 5, net worth $300,000 to $600,000. Salary $130,000 to $200,000. You still make your own coffee. The French press is 8 years old. Scratched handle, a hairline crack on the base that doesn't leak, but you've been watching for 2 years. $28 new back when 28 was a number you thought about before spending. You don't think about $28 anymore, but you still use the same French press every morning. Same beans, $14 a pound from the grocery store 2 blocks over, roughly 40 cents a cup, 2 cups, 80 cents. For minutes, including the wait. This is not a story about 80 cents. Tuesday morning, break room. Patrick is getting his coat. He's heading to the coffee place downstairs, reclaimed wood interior, pour-overs that take 7 minutes and cost $850. He goes every day, sometimes twice. He sees you with the thermos you filled at home. He doesn't say anything mean, just tilts his head slightly, the way people do when something doesn't quite compute. You make $155, he knows that. Same band, same floor, same title on the org chart, and you're carrying a $15 thermos. You smile, you keep walking. Patrick doesn't know what you know. He doesn't know that at a net worth of $420,000, your portfolio earned $29,400 last year without you doing anything. He doesn't know that $6 a day is not a threat at this level. He sees the thermos, he reads it as a statement about what you can afford. He's wrong about what it means, and you don't need him to be right. Here's what nobody explains about money at this level. The habits that built the number don't feel optional anymore. Not because you're rigid, because you understand something you couldn't have at level 1. The French press isn't about the money, it's about the identity you built. $420,000 on a salary that started at $34,000. 100 small decisions, consistently, quietly.